Good evening and welcome back to Midnight Movie Club. In tonight's video we've got some Army of the Dead character breakdowns to go through. In this awesome article from ScreenRant, someone actually had a set visit of Army of the Dead and they've given us everything that we would really need to know before seeing the film. So yeah, I really just want to dive into this one and explain it all to you all and summarise it for you all, and let's really, get some awesome information about the characters and the zombies as well, as tonight I do want to kick off this video talking about Zeus. Zeus is played by Rich Citrone. He's a stuntman in almost pretty much every Zack Snyder film, and recently he done all the Batman stuff for Ben Affleck. Zeus is the king of the zombies and he is patient zero of the outbreak. He is quote unquote Big Daddy of the undead. Basically, he escapes Area 51 and flees to Las Vegas, causing the outbreak, and apparently we will feel sympathetic to Zeus as he didn't ask for this and there was something actually done to him that changed him. So obviously in Area 51 he might have been like a lab rat, someone they were testing on, and I wonder how he was chosen to be the unlucky victim of getting, injected with this virus. Whether it was made and created in the labs of Area 51, or if it was something that I've theorised before, like something that's fallen off from a satellite or something that they found in a UFO crash. Maybe it's an alien disease and they want to find out what it can do, so they test it on Zeus and then he becomes the very first zombie and the very first alpha zombie. We also got some brand new awesome information that has now been confirmed. When Zeus bites someone, they become an alpha zombie. That's how the alphas are created. But if anyone is bitten by a zombie that isn't Zeus, so one of those alphas he's created, if anyone else is bitten after that, they become a shambler. It's only Zeus who can create the alphas. And I really like that he is very important to them, growing their species, because without him, they can create no more alphas and they would only be able to create shamblers. And I doubt they've really got that emotional connection between the alphas and the shamblers. The alphas probably look down on them and just see them as lower beings, whereas they want to create alphas and, really create an army and a family, as it seems like they do really care about each other. They've got this wolf pack aspect to them, like Zack Snyder has said, so they clearly have, a deep understanding of each other. One other awesome thing they mention in this article about Zeus is that they talk about some concept art for him, saying that in one image he's depicted with flowing ratty hair and a red cape, and we don't see that in the trailer. We do see him with his spear and a sort of it's not really a cape, it's more just flowing clothes. But apparently in some of this concept art, he's seen patrolling the city on his horse. But the most interesting part here is that in some of the concept art, it shows him having glowing green eyes, which he doesn't have in the trailer. But in the trailer, we do see two zombies part of his horde with glowing blue eyes. I wonder what that could mean and why their eyes are glowing. Is it something extraterrestrial going on with them? Or is it part of the turning process when you're becoming an alpha? Who knows, but maybe we'll see Zeus with glowing eyes at the start of the film as well, as the start of the movie will show, his escape and stuff like that, and the zombie war before everything, kind of dies down and goes back to normal. Now moving on, let's talk about Scott Wald, played by Dave Bautista, and apparently Scott actually led a militia force in the zombie war called Last Vengeance, and this is obviously, when he was talking to Cruz about saying, think of all the people we helped, it's about time we done something for ourselves. And during this zombie war, the army actually had a battle with the zombies in the desert, in the Nevada desert, before they managed to wall off the city, kind of drive them back and then wall it off. But apparently in this war in the desert with the zombies, they were really struggling and they weren't getting the best of the zombies, and the zombies were starting to get through. It was looking really dire. But apparently local militia groups of civilians all banded together and helped the army push the zombies back. And Scott was the leader of this team called Last Vengeance, which is awesome. Let's be honest, that's badass. And, you know, Cruz and stuff like that were all part of his crew. Cruz and Vanderhoof were like his main two, and I think him and Cruz kind of had a relationship for a little while as well. So it's really cool to see, you know, they've had experience with the zombies, but probably more the shamblers than the alphas. It's also been mentioned that at the very start, there's not many alphas, obviously, because Zeus isn't just going about biting absolutely everyone he sees, but, you know, the alphas he creates will be, but more shamblers are created than alphas, and the shamblers outnumber the alphas. So the alphas are kind of like a myth almost in the background. People have talked about them, said, have you heard about these, you know, clever, smart zombies? But other people dismiss it and stuff like that. But obviously Zeus has got them all hiding out somewhere, you know, until they can really grow themselves as an army and, you know, rise up and take us on. We learn a little bit more about Scott, saying that, you know, he's working as a short order cook because after all this he dreamed of having his own restaurant and stuff like that. And they talk a bit about his relationship with Kate, played by Ella Purnell. It's a big part of the movie. It's a big emotional part of the movie. Deborah Snyder said she thinks it's the spine of the movie and it's the heart of the movie because he's estranged from his daughter, and through the course of the movie we see the relationship kind of unfold and grow and kind of get healed. But yeah, it's just nice to know that you know, Batista has had some experience leading this team before, so it'll be nice to see them all joining up again to take on the undead once more. Moving on, we got some more stuff about Cruz, played by Ana de la Reguera. Hopefully I said that right, I'm so sorry if I didn't. And apparently they say again there's some tension there between her and Scott, but some playfulness as well because of their past relationship. Cruz basically owns her own car shop and fixes up muscle cars and stuff like that. So, you know, she is a mechanic, and apparently she owned this tackle truck. It was said Last Vengeance all over it. It had like this cool art over it and stuff like that. Apparently, it was her dream to have that tackle truck, but Scott Ward also wanted it as well because he's got a love for food. So maybe they have a little disagreement over who owns the tackle truck and who gets to be the leader of the Last Vengeance tackle truck. But that'll be just, you know, a little bit of light-hearted humour to their relationship. We also get some more information about Omari Hardwick's Vanderhoof. Vanderhoof is another member of the Last Vengeance team, so he was there with Cruz and Scott when it was all kicking off, and apparently he's a super zombie killer according to Deborah Snyder, but he actually has a philosophy degree, and she said he's a philosopher who's frequently citing Joseph Campbell, which is cool. I didn't expect that from his character at all. And apparently he's supposed to be a bit of an enigma, subverting expectations for a hardened zombie killer. But Omari Hardwick also said on a JusticeCon live stream that, you know, I think he thinks that everyone's going to absolutely love him seeing him mow down shamblers with that buzzsaw. So the buzzsaw is definitely from the time of the Last Vengeance during that zombie war in the Nevada desert. Then obviously when Scott is offered this job from Hunter Bly, he's going to hunt down Vanderhoof again, find him and reunite the Last Vengeance team. Then we get some awesome information about Gita, played by Huma Qureshi. Hopefully I said that right. Sorry again if I didn't. We only seen her for a split second in the trailer, but we actually get a lot of information. Well, not a lot, but we just get a concrete answer to who she is, along with her connection to Kate as well. Basically, Gita is a mum whose family is in one of the refugee camps outside of the Las Vegas quarantine zone, and she goes into Vegas to try and get money to get her family out of the camp, but she never comes back. So it seems like these refugees in this camp, if they can get into Las Vegas with the help of Nora Arenzender's character Lily the Coyote, she'll help them smuggle them in. They can go in, find something valuable or get some money from the slot machines or something like that. If they can survive and sneak back out, they can pay off the guards of the refugee camp and the guards will let them free. Apparently there's a political aspect to these refugee camps as well with the government. If anyone disagrees with the government, they'll kind of take their temperature and they'll just make it up and say, your temperature's looking pretty low. It's not high in this universe like we are. It's low because obviously you'd be getting more undead. Like you'd be becoming dead basically. So they'll be like, your temperature's getting low, send them off to a refugee camp near Las Vegas, which is quite funny. Well, it's not funny, it's kind of horrible, but in a morbid way, it's kind of funny, right? I don't know. But it shows you how serious this government are taking things, using it for political gain. And apparently the government are actually going to bomb Las Vegas and destroy all the last remnants of the zombies on July 4th because the president thinks it would be patriotic, which is just amazing. I love that. That's so cool. And apparently that cuts down that 32-hour time frame that the team have by even more. So the clock's really going to be ticking on them. But yeah, Gita sounds connected to Kate Ward. Kate is Scott's daughter, obviously. She's working at the refugee camp as a volunteer, helping these people out, being a friend to them. She's obviously a friend of Gita's, and when she goes into Las Vegas and doesn't come back, Kate then joins up with the team, Last Vengeance, who are going in, they're going in for very selfish reasons, wanting to get money and all that. Kate's going in for a selfless reason. She's trying to find Gita and, help her get back to her family and get out of this camp. So I'm really liking that contrast between her and her dad. Her dad's been super selfish, even though I think he deserves it. He's helped out before. He deserves 50 million, I reckon. But she's obviously going to see it like, fuck you, Dad, you're being selfish. You should be more like me, I'm being more selfless and stuff like that. So that'll open up a nice dialogue between them, and it'll bring up some nice dramatic conflict that isn't, running at us with blood-covered mouths and hands. Then moving on to one of my favourite sounding characters and someone I really like the look of in the trailer, Lily the Coyote, played by Nora Arenzender. Lily lives in a storage locker along the wall. We actually seen that in the trailer. You see the chandelier hanging in the background as the team go in and stuff like that. Basically, she takes refugees inside Vegas to the casino to find money in slot machines or cashier's drawers so they can then go back to the refugee camp, pay off the guards and get out of the camp. And apparently she's like some sort of kind of punk rocker, and she wears black fingerless gloves. I don't know why they put that in there. We didn't really need to know that. But apparently she wears a Scottish punk rock band t-shirt that says The Exploited. I don't know, I've never listened to them. But I may go check them out now since they're Scottish. I don't mind punk rock. Punk rock's pretty sick. But yeah, it's pretty cool that that's in there. And apparently she also has a coyote skull and paw hanging from her belt and a small bird skull on her necklace. Don't know what they're for, trophies or something like that. But Arenzender has also said that she doesn't have a specific backstory, but to her, in her mind, she used to work in one of the casinos. Either way, whatever backstory is meant to be, she seems like a pretty nice person helping out these refugees and trying to get them some money so they can get the hell out of those camps. Then moving on to Burt Cummings, played by Theo Rossi. He's the guy we've seen getting dragged away in those trailers. Doesn't look like it's going to end too well for him. And apparently we won't really care that much because Deborah Snyder refers to Burt Cummings as kind of a villain, and Theo Rossi himself is actually referred to him as just, a straight out villain. So based on what we know about the guards, he probably does abuse his power and takes bribes from the refugees and probably maybe abuses the refugees. He might have a connection to Gita as well. Definitely be conflict between him and Kate. Kate will probably see the dodgy shit he gets up to. Maybe he wants to go in. Maybe he forms like a relationship with Gita, or maybe abuses her, I don't know, and he's trying to shut her up and find her and shut her up. But it's just weird that one of the guards would join the team to go in. So yeah, he's an outsider for this group. And yeah, I could probably see him being cannon fodder, someone we're meant to hate, and someone who might get ripped apart or turned. Then we just get a little bit of confirmation about Martin, Garrett Dillahunt's character, who is head of Hunter Bly's security. We guessed this from the trailer. He's joining the team to supervise them and make sure the money is brought back in full and everyone gets their fair share. He's also the one that's not there by choice as well, which is interesting because the rest of the team are all there for a reason and actually want to be there. But it questions what his true motivations are along the journey. Basically, I could see him, once the heist is complete, turning on everyone and trying to take all the money for himself and his boss, Hunter Bly. Then we do get a little bit more about Ludwig Dieter, played by Matthias Schweighöfer, but he's the newest member to this Last Vengeance team, so I just love saying that. He joins because he's an expert safecracker. We've talked about this before. This isn't very new, this stuff. He's done the prequel Army of the Thieves. He actually directed it, which is pretty cool. But apparently in this film that's so full of action and drama, he is kind of the comedic relief, and we've seen that a little bit in the trailer with his Shiza and all that. So, he'll probably come in just at the right time to break up all the tension. Now let's talk about my boy Mikey Guzman, played by Raul Castillo. Apparently Guzman is a YouTuber and social media influencer. I instantly love him, let's be honest. I don't really care about the influencer part, but the YouTuber part, he's got my respect. Apparently his brand revolves around him coming up with crazy ways to kill zombies for his channel. This is fucking amazing. I love this concept. It's kind of like the Zombieland Kill of the Week, but he's going to be doing it, live streaming and posting videos to YouTube and stuff like that. I fucking love this guy already, and I hope he does not die. Apparently, as a subscriber base, he's trying to grow and checks in with regularly, although Castillo has told us that he doesn't have much time to vlog during the actual mission into Vegas during the movie, but apparently he has tons of experience killing zombies, and he even hash marks onto his costume, keeping track of his kill count. Apparently he isn't experienced in actual combat like the rest of the Last Vengeance team, but he's still sick because he does all these crazy cool kills for Instagram and like YouTube and stuff like this, which is just an awesome concept. Apparently his presence could be seen as similar to the Harlem Globetrotters, as if they were going to join the NBA. So you got all these people kind of taking it serious and trying to get the job done. Now you've got this guy in the background skidding about on his knees, killing zombies, dropping pianos on them probably, I don't know, doing all this kind of crazy shit. I'm keen to see his sort of intro and some of his videos before he joins the team, and I think him and Chambers will be a couple who actually join the team, because we get some more on Chambers here as well, played by Samantha Winn, who is awesome and badass. Apparently her background isn't as clear, but she's also highly skilled at killing zombies as well. And the reason Chambers joins the Last Vengeance team to go into Vegas is purely to protect Guzman. Her and Mikey Guzman kind of have this sister-brother bond. Samantha Winn said in the Justice Con live stream that she's ride or die for Guzman. They've got that connection, and they'll be like, the two pals in the group pretty much. So it's really awesome. That sounds good to me, and I'm keen to see them have that kind of friendly, creative zombie killing chemistry within the group. Apparently Samantha Winn also tells us the moment in the film where she'll get separated from the rest of the group, and that's when Chambers gets to mow through zombies. And I think that's the part of the trailer we saw where she's kind of in that kitchen area with zombies absolutely all around her. Looks like a dire situation, but I really hope she makes it through that. I think she does, because we see her later on in the trailer in the circle with the rest of the team, but sadly she does look like she flinches, and I wonder, does she flinch because she's starting to turn? I really hope not. I don't want to see her turn and Mikey have to kill her. That would be heartbreaking. But yeah, hopefully not. But yeah, apparently the red bandana and green tank top that makes her look like Vasquez is an homage as well to her Vasquez, which is awesome. So yeah, just keen to see her in action. Her and Mikey are going to be awesome together, and I can't wait to see him, trying to get his sub count up killing zombies. That's just fucking amazing. Now moving on, Marianne Peters, played by Tig Notaro. She is the helicopter pilot for Last Vengeance. She's going to take them out of sticky situations and stuff like that and fly them back over the wall. I think she'll exfil them. And she actually was a member of the Last Vengeance team, that original team again. The plan involves escaping Vegas, of course, on a helicopter from the top of Bly Casino, so she's going to get them out of there. And we got some answers for all the red jerry cans. So apparently it's Peters' job to hollow the gas lead that the team have hiked in and make sure the helicopter is ready for flight. So, she spends most of her time monologuing and cussing to herself, doing while the rest of the team are off, killing zombies. Snyder obviously had his eye on comedians for the role as well, it says here, and Notaro's Peters, is another source of comedic relief alongside Schweighofer's Ludwig Dieter. And that's pretty much it for all of the character breakdowns, along with Zeus, the king daddy of the alphas. They do say a little bit more here at the end, which says, whether Zeus is genetically engineered or he has part alien in him, I'm telling you, it's from outer space, it's got to be. Either way, Zeus escapes from Area 51 and he is their alpha, their king daddy. He starts the outbreak. When he bites you, you get other alphas, but if they bite you, it gets weaker and weaker and you get shamblers. So just reiterating that point from earlier. But I really do like that bit. Is it genetically engineered, or has he got alien in him? What's going on? Yeah, I'm excited. I'm sure you can all tell from my voice. I'm just really excited for this one, and I'm loving finally getting some more information on the characters, and I can't wait to see them all and how they play off one another, and just how they all kill zombies together pretty much. So I will link this source down below because there is more in here, but there's stuff that I just don't think really warrants being talked about. Really, I've spoke for far too long already. Thank you very much if you watched all this way into the video. If you are new here, please do subscribe, and if you enjoyed this video, then please do leave it a like. As always, thank you very much for watching, and good night.